If you're interested in golf, this morning's guest will counsel you for a great benefit. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the regional headquarters for Tidelands Bank on the corner of Professional Drive and Grissom Parkway. We're focused on the 12th annual Coastal Samaritan Counseling Center's golf tournament to be held at the Caledonia Golf and Fish Club on Saturday, July 28th. And we're visiting with the executive director of the Coastal Samaritan Center, Kathy Heustess. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. How
Thanks
are
so
you?
much for coming in.
Great to be here.
And thanks to Tidelands Bank for opening up the doors here. This new facility, this is incredible. Have you walked around?
It's very nice. Very
It is
impressive.
amazing. I know it's strange to be in here at 7 a.m. As they're taking the alarm off and opening things up. But how about July 4th? You have big plans tomorrow?
Oh, well, we'll probably grill out, as most families do.
Yeah,
Invite some neighbors over, and my kids love fireworks. So.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
I know they did the big special this weekend out at the Pelican Ball Field. Of course, so many folks getting ready for July 4th. We'll be down in Murrells Inlet tomorrow for the boat parade, which will be exciting. Bob Hendrick was with us yesterday talking about the boat parade. A lot going on.
It's a great day.
Yeah, it is. And what about the 12th annual golf tournament coming up?
Oh, we're really excited about that. This is a way that we can do a fundraiser for our center.
Right.
We see a lot of folks who cannot afford to pay full fee for their counseling services. And so we do fundraisers. We're a nonprofit organization. And through the generosity of Mr. John Springs, who is the general manager at True Blue in Caledonia, we have an annual golf tournament every year. And it is a lot of fun, and it fills up fast because Caledonia is a popular course.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful course.
It is. Have you played it?
I'm not a golfer.
Oh, yeah, you just like to
I
get
just
down there and help make sure things run right.
I make sure the tournament comes off. And,
right.
But we have room for 36 teams.
Is that right?
We already have 14 signed up.
Oh, boy, okay.
So we're doing a last-minute publicity
push right here. Well, that's great.
Right.
Well, hopefully we can get the word out. Of course, if a viewer wanted to learn more about the golf tournament, of course, we'll be talking about Coastal Samaritan Centers. If they wanted to learn more about the golf tournament, is there a good phone number for someone to call?
Yes.
Or a website even?
Yes, we have a website, and they can call our center as well. Our website is www.coastalsamaritan.org. And they can actually download a registration form off the website for the golf tournament.
It may not be as nice with this orange color here on the table, but at least if they printed it off, they could get that same form.
Yes,
great.
They can. And our phone number is 843-448-4820.
Okay, 448-4820.
Right.
Spectacular. What about, real quick about yourself, Kathy, are you originally from the area?
No, I'm a Buckeye. I'm originally from the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
But I've lived in South Carolina now for about 22 years.
22 years. You've lived here longer than you lived in the Buckeye State, probably.
Pretty much.
Not to date you there, but we're at least close, I'm
Half
sure.
my life, yeah.
That's fantastic. I think I saw in reading about you, you're actually a reverend?
Yes, I have been ordained by the United Methodist Church.
Is that right?
Right.
Do you give sermons on a regular basis? Do you preach? I guess every time you're counseling, in a sense, you're surely spreading the word.
I can preach, and I do preach on occasion, but I do not serve a church. So my place of ministry is the counseling office.
Of course, absolutely. Where are the offices located? Is there a physical facility here in the Myrtle Beach area?
Yes, we have our central office is located in the Asbury building at First United Methodist Church, which is in the heart of downtown Myrtle Beach.
Is that over near where the pavilion was?
Right. It's right across from the pavilion parking garage.
Aha, yes.
So that we're sad to see that landmark be relocated, but
well, you've got some trees over there that you can see now that you probably couldn't see because of there's still a handful of trees on that 11-acre site that are kind of fun. It's been difficult getting by there this summer with my daughter, who spent almost all of last summer out there.
Right, my son too.
Is that right? Yeah.
But our central office is there, and then we have some satellite offices as well.
Where are they?
We have a presence in Conway.
Okay.
At Trinity United Methodist. And we have one in Little River at Little River United Methodist.
Good.
One in Litchfield at St. Paul's Waccamaw United Methodist. And then we also have one in the Fantasy Harbor area at Christ United Methodist.
But now, does Coastal Samaritan, you get support, as you said, y'all are a nonprofit organization, so you get support from churches outside of just the Methodist Church?
We do. We are a church-supported ministry, and the Samaritan ministry in general is a all-encompassing faith ministry. So it's not exclusive to one denomination or even just the Christian faith. We support people in the community that come from a variety of backgrounds and a variety of faith communities.
Is this something you'd gotten interested in at an early age, Kathy, growing up, possibly being a counselor? I think I saw, obviously there is a little bit for folks who visit coastalsamaritan.org. They can see some tremendous information about you and growing up there at Washington Courthouse, as well as some of your other tremendous counselors and some great quotes. I don't think I saw, well, one, yours is attributed to the Bible itself, but one from Fred Rogers, one to the Dalai Lama, the 14th Dalai Lama, some exciting quotes attributed or associated with all of your counselors.
Right. We were able to do, we were the recipients of CAMP, the Coastal Advertising and Marketing Professionals grant, and so we were able to do our brochures and our website and so forth. They helped us design that and did a profile on each counselor. And so if you visit the website, you can read each counselor's profile and perhaps see which one you thought you would become attached to or like, that it would be a good match for counseling.
Some tremendous information. When did CAMP do, did they actually help redo or rebuild the website or help sponsor that? Just get it.
They actually helped us with the brochures and with our posters. And we did some radio and newspaper ads and so forth.
Yes, well, those are gorgeous. I mean, really great profiles on there, and they surely lay out and as you say, get folks interested who would be interested in seeking counsel. Do you find a lot of folks use the website?
We do. Good. We do. More and more people. In fact, when a person calls in for counseling, we ask them, how did you hear about us? And more people are searching the web for that in the community. So
that's great.
The Yellow Pages, too. We get a lot of that.
Good. The website has some tremendous frequently asked questions, and actually, if you don't mind, I'll just go through some of those for viewers who may not have internet access or may not have yet been to the website. What is pastoral counseling? I know you open up a little bit about that, but for viewers who may not be familiar with pastoral counseling.
Well, pastoral counselors are counselors who have been trained in the mental health field in a particular discipline, such as psychology or social work or marriage and family therapy. And they also have had theological training. And so it's an attempt to integrate both the mental health field with the pastoral field or the theological field. And so when a person comes in for counseling, we are attuned to that person's faith perspective and encourage the use of that perspective without being coercive. Just encourage the use of that in healing.
You had mentioned earlier you didn't need to be necessarily associated with a denomination or even a religion, and that you all could still provide counseling. Is that correct, whether you're involved with an organized religion or not?
We are professionally trained in the mental health field, and one of the basic values that we're taught is that we don't impose our values on another person. And so we're aware of what our values are, and we honor the values of the person coming in. So we have people that come in with no particular denominational affiliation or religious background, and we're able to bring healing to that person regardless of their religious background.
That's an interesting point. I'm sure a lot of folks think about that when they hear about Christian psychiatrists or about others because of, as you say, the mental health professional or Hippocratic oath or having some kind of allegiance to other mental health professionals, making sure that you don't do that. But at the same time, if there is such a thing as Christian psychiatrist, in this instance, you serve both as a Christian as well as a mental health therapist there and can do that. Have you heard that question before? Is that an oxymoron, a Christian psychiatrist, or ever thought about that?
What we know about Jesus in terms of the New Testament is that he went about preaching and teaching and healing. And so we feel like the healing profession is supported by Christianity in general, and that is where healing is involved, God is involved.
Those are great words. So oftentimes, and I'm glad you shared that. We had a guest on a few weeks ago. There was a question that had stumped folks about, this was somebody, and actually one of our guests later this week, Jim Watson, will be talking a little bit about it. Sherry Harms, who was with us a couple weeks ago, also talked about it. But we had a guest who was hit up with a tough question. He was going to Mexico to help build homes down in Mexico. And someone said, why are you building homes in Mexico? Why not here? Why not here in the U.S. helping out our folks? And he said, in God's language, we don't worry about man-made boundaries when determining the Mexican border there, when determining whether or not we're going to help others.
Right.
And I think in the same way with the great New Testament teaching there, the ability to serve many, many
right.
folks, not just folks of Christian belief. That's great. So the training there is, when we think about how pastoral counselors are trained, are you trained? That would be potentially difficult in the training. Who provides the training there?
Well, a lot of people go to regular universities and get master's degrees in psychology, social work, marriage and family therapy, and counseling, and so forth. And then there are also pastoral counseling training programs around the country that are accredited by the American Association of Pastoral Counselors, which is an attempt to integrate the faith piece or the theological piece into the healing.
What would be some of the, is there a typical person who would call or visit the website who's looking for, what are some of the needs that folks would have that they would turn or think of y'all as the vehicle to help them out? What are some of are there typical needs that they may have?
There are common threads through the people that call. One of the most common things we see is depression.
Depression.
I think at any given time, 1 in 5 people are depressed.
Is that right? 20% of our general population?
Right.
That's insane. I mean, that's incredible. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's very common.
Wow.
And the best treatment for depression is usually a combination of drugs, medication, and psychotherapy. And so one of the hallmarks of the Samaritan Institute, which we're accredited by, is that we work with local physicians and psychiatrists as they have the authority to prescribe medicine. And that's the whole philosophy behind the Samaritan Institute to begin with, is that it's healing of mind and body and spirit, and then community as well. So we work with local physicians and help people get better, feel better for depression.
And go ahead.
I would say anxiety is another one. A lot of people have anxiety disorders. Feeling of being keyed up and tense and not being able to sleep and that kind of thing. We have a lot of people call for marriage counseling, couple work, not getting along with their spouse, people that have teenagers that are acting out, people that have experienced grief or loss. Maybe they've lost their job or they've lost a spouse or a child. People that experience trauma, maybe the death of one due to a crime or a DUI or something like that. So it's a variety of issues that people bring in.
For our viewers, you had mentioned right there in the beginning the golf tournament oftentimes are to raise funds for the folks who can't cover the costs associated. For viewers who may have some of the issues, what are some of the costs that they may be faced with? Kathy, does it depend on person to person or on the cause problem? But if one of our viewers, for instance, is suffering from anxiety or from trauma or from depression there, if they were to call your 448 number or to visit the coastalsamaritan.org site, or what are some of the costs? Is that apparent here on the website, or
we don't
person to person?
We don't. Right. It's on a case-by-case basis. We do have a charge that we charge everyone. We do accept most insurances. However, some people cannot afford that.
Right.
Good private psychotherapists cost anywhere from $100 to $120 an hour.
Easily, yeah, probably more.
And we do serve people that have high income levels. We're not just for people with low income. We serve all spectrum in terms of income levels. But we do have an adjusted fee scale based on a person's income. So they're plugged in a cost based on their ability to pay. And we're very committed to remaining pastoral in that way, that we serve people regardless of their ability to pay. But because it does cost us, we have to make up those funds in other ways, and that's why we have fundraisers. And we have church support. Local churches put us in their mission budgets.
Great, good. And again, you said that's interdenominational across, even though almost all of your locations are associated with a Methodist church. It is broad denominational, yes, clearly.
And that's one thing that pastors that may refer people to us can be assured of, is that the faith of the person they're sending will be respected and integrated into the counseling experience.
Are there Samaritan centers similar to this all around the country?
Glad you asked that question.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I saw that as a frequently asked question or not. I don't think so. But are there other? Do you have sister or brethren locations around the country?
And that is one of the best kept secrets, I think.
Well, we better get it out. Yeah.
We are part of a network of over 500 counseling centers. And so, and again, this was started in the 1970s in Elkhart, Indiana. It was started by a couple of clergymen and a physician and a seminary professor. And what they did is they wanted to get the healthcare community more involved with the church, and the church more involved in the healthcare community. And so out of that grew this counseling center, and then out of that grew a network of pastoral counseling centers across the country and even in Japan. They moved from Indiana to Denver, Colorado, and so it's called the Samaritan Institute.
Yes, you mentioned that earlier.
They are an accrediting body. We have over 40 different standards that we have to meet in the areas of board development and finances and administration and personnel and clinical services. And so every 4 years they come for a visit and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Is that right? Well, that's a secret you should be telling the world. That's wonderful. I mean, clearly the association that it's not a small, not that small isn't great or can't be great, but that you're not a small organization, you're affiliated with a very large.
And they're there to support the good business practices, because most counselors have a heart for people, and that will also drive them out of business.
Right.
So the Samaritan Institute is there to help us practice good business practices so we'll stay in business. And
the local psychiatrist or medical professionals you have to turn to when counseling to be able to administer medications, do they work out a pretty good relationship with you all as well?
Absolutely.
Financially? That's great.
Absolutely.
That's great, as well as just systematically. I mean, the need to make sure that you've got the dollars raised, and our director just gave me a time cue. I'm amazed. Time is flying, Kathy. We've only got about 7 minutes, so we want to spend a little time focusing on the golf tournament. But clearly some funds need to be raised. If a viewer needs to get off to work now, again, would you mind repeating that phone number, the 448?
Sure. 448-4820.
Okay, right here. And y'all's hours 9 to 7, so you'll open in a couple hours this morning, Monday through Thursday, and 9 to 1 on Friday. Okay, y'all will probably be closed tomorrow for July 4th.
Yes, we
Good,
will.
as many folks will be. 448-4820 or coastalsamaritan.org.
Right.
Tremendous website, aside from the fact that Camp had helped out on some great little stuff here. Some of these ideas of great quotes. You use Psalm 30:5, weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. It's that blessing of light, assuming it's a lighted morning like this morning here on Tuesday. You know, when we think about golf tournaments and all that goes into having to get ready for a golf tournament, a lot has to happen to make this y'all's 12th annual tournament on July 28th a success.
There's a lot of work.
Share with viewers some of the things that they may not see behind the scenes or may not think about that you've got to do to make it a successful event, particularly playing at Caledonia. What a treat.
Oh, it's wonderful. We have a board of directors because we are a 501c3 organization and nonprofit. We have a board of directors, and then we have a golf committee. And we recruit people from the community that love to play golf, love to recruit golfers, and have a heart for the counseling ministry that we do. And we meet monthly, beginning in about March, all the way through the summer. And we recruit whole sponsors and corporate sponsors. So if any of the viewers would like to become a whole sponsor, it's $150.
Is that all? That's tremendous.
Right, and then for a corporate sponsor, it's $500.
Okay, good.
It's $75 per player or $300 per team, which you cannot play Caledonia for $75.
No, absolutely not.
So it's a bargain to come out and play, and we have a wonderful time. We have a lot of prizes donated. We recruit local businesses and so forth to donate these prizes and sell raffle tickets, and the golfers come in from their day on the golf course and win lots of raffle prizes. So.
Tremendous, yeah. So you'll have, you said 36 teams.
Right.
So a total of, what's that? I'm not good at math. Is that
144?
Yeah,
golfers.
144 golfers out.
Right.
You've sold 14 already today on the the 3rd of July.
And Martin's Golf and Tennis is donating a Hummer. If you get a hole-in-one on one of the holes, then you win a Hummer.
Well, we just signed up Donald and Sherry, and we'll call Jim Watson on Friday, and I think the 4 of us will be down there on
That'd be
Saturday
great.
the 28th.
That's
That is
wonderful.
amazing, to win a Hummer.
Plus, every golfer gets a $20 gift certificate from Martin's Golf and Tennis.
Is every single golfer
Every
there?
single golfer
What a
there will
great
get a
deal.
$20 gift certificate.
Who's not going to sign up?
I know,
This is
wonderful.
another one of those best-kept secrets out there. That's
is.
But of course, this is the 12th annual event. How many years have you done it at Caledonia?
Every other year we do it at Caledonia.
Is that
the
right?
The other years we do it at True Blue.
Both with the Springs connection
Right.
there. Are the Springs involved on the board? Are
Absolutely.
they longtime supporters?
Right, longtime
That is wonderful.
supporters of the center.
Real quick, for viewers who may not be familiar with the founding of the Coastal Samaritan Counseling Center, what prompted its founding? Was it that the Samaritan Institute helping to expand into different parts of the country, or was it a group of local folks?
It was local folks. It was the Reverend Tom Britton, who was the minister at First United Methodist Church.
Right.
He recruited an associate pastor to begin a counseling ministry at the church in 1980, 1981. And it just started out in one little Sunday school room with 2 chairs. And then it has grown over the years. We did last year over 2,000 hours of counseling last year.
Is that right? 2,000 hours in 2006.
Right.
That is tremendous. And as you said, when a normal counseling cost would be $100 to $120 an hour, that's a lot of value associated with that
Right.
counseling. That's
Right.
tremendous.
And last year we donated nearly $150,000 back to the community in subsidized counseling services.
Wow, Kathy, what a tremendous commitment. And what year was that again? Did you say what year that was that it got founded? It was quite a while back.
It was 1981. I
in
believe.
81. So you all just celebrated 25
Yes.
years very recently. That is tremendous. So again, if folks were to call, and they could call the 448-4820 number
Right.
to learn more about the golf tournament, to sign up, and do you have to have any special skills to play? Do you have crummy golfers like me? Now, Donald's a pro there. Sherry and that Jim Watson, if we can reach him on the phone. I don't know if they can golf or not.
No,
but
the purpose is to have fun.
is that right?
all.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And the time is... The time, not right now, excuse me, the time?
The time for the tournament is free lunch at 12:30.
Okay.
The Springs family gives us a lunch that day.
Man.
And it's a shotgun start at 2 o'clock.
Okay, fantastic. So it'll be getting a little cooler in the day. We're not going to get toasted being down there at 2 starting up.
You have
That's
plenty
right.
of beverages on the course if you do. So.
That is tremendous, Kathy. What a great deal. And of course, some of the corporate sponsorships for some of our viewers who may work with a company that would want to be a sponsor. Of course, the whole sponsor you said is $150. Any
Right.
special benefits for the corporate sponsorship?
You will get a large banner at the tournament
Okay, good.
as a corporate sponsor.
That is fantastic. Okay. You know, when we think about so many other things, obviously you talked about the cost. How does a viewer get started? What's the best thing for them to do right now if they're suffering from depression, or if they have a loved one who's suffering from trauma or anxiety? What's the best thing for them to do? Is it picking up the phone, or is it visiting the website? What's just the best way?
Pick up the phone and call, and you'll be talking to someone who is warm and caring and wants to find out what your needs are. And then you'll be assigned to a counselor, put in the schedule as soon as we can get you in, and you can begin your healing process.
How about if a viewer isn't suffering from any problems, but they may have some free time on their hands? Do you ever have volunteer opportunities associated with the Coastal Samaritan Counseling Center?
Mostly at the golf tournament.
Is that right?
That's a great place to volunteer. Because of confidentiality, we don't use a lot of volunteers.
That's a very good point. Excuse me. That's a very good point. So that would make it very difficult. But the golf tournament's a good opportunity. There are other fundraising events during the year that they could possibly get involved.
Well, we seek donations all year long as well, so that's a wonderful way. We are a United Way agency. I need to mention that.
Absolutely. That is very clear throughout the website that you all are a United Way agency and receive quite a bit of support from them.
We also receive support from the Chapin Foundation.
Good. That's fantastic. Kathy, if you weren't the executive director of the Coastal Samaritan Counseling Center, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh, I'd be counseling.
You'd be counseling.
Well, and I do that anyway. I'm a part-time counselor, part-time executive director.
Is that right?
But I love the privilege of sitting with people during their most vulnerable times. And it's just a wonderful privilege to watch that healing process unfold.
Those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this
Thank
morning.
you.
Good luck with the golf tournament
Thank you very
on
much.
July 28th. Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Reverend Kathy Heustess. Listen to these great words from Kathy. They really are tremendous, and you can see them online at coastalsamaritan.org. You'd probably hear it if you picked up the phone and dialed the 843-448-4820. But listen to these great words. When I was in seminary, people always came to my room to talk. I found that being present alongside people in their most vulnerable times, you heard her say that earlier, those words stick with her even to the present. Their most vulnerable times was a tremendous privilege. I was smitten by the experience, and it continues to be my passion today. If you didn't see it the last 30 minutes, you'll see it on July 28th when you get out to the golf tournament down at Caledonia. Lunch is at 12:30. The tourney kicks off at 2 p.m. There's still a couple of spots available, but you need to pick up the phone now, 448-4820. That's Saturday, July 28th.